make money.
What's up, everybody? Episode 14, couple of bettors. We're back. Yay. Well, we had a fun weekend. Didn't win a lot of money, but we had fun. And it actually started with Thanksgiving, which is kind of where the weekend started. First holiday weekend. It was a main one out in Vegas. So it was pretty nice. Went over a friend's house. Felt very welcome there. And, who also felt welcome there? Bernie felt welcome. Look at this guy. He's hanging out with his two other dog friends.
His ladies, girlfriends.
Yeah, he doesn't get along with dogs and stuff, and all of a sudden he finds two little ladies, and now he's well behaved. He's he's playing with them. So, shout out to Gracie and Rue. We see you.
You got them exhausted. Look at how cute they are.
I know all those dogs have on and off switches, nothing in the middle. All right, this week you got Vegas. This one is not fully you got Vegas, meaning somebody was out in Vegas and they partied too hard and they did something wrong. Yeah. It's kind of the opposite. It's basically somebody got dragged to Vegas because they wanted to party harder, right? So here's the article. Boy calls 911 from inside the father's car, right? They were at a family party, South Los Angeles. The boy says his father put on a Las Vegas Raiders helmet and told his sons, "We're heading to Vegas." So
unfortunately, he was drunk while he was driving the car.
Definitely. What are we doing with the drinking and driving? It seems to be a common theme throughout this podcast, all the things that we pull up. But yeah, you're drunk. You took your kid because you wanted to go to Vegas so bad. And you love it so much that you put the Raiders helmet on in the car. I wonder what his blood alcohol was. It had to be
enough to get pulled over.
Yeah. So shout out to the kid for making the call. Turn your dad in. I mean, you shouldn't be driving out there. But also Vegas, you pulled this guy into. So you did it. You got Vegas. All right. Next one. Let's face it. A bunch of people in the news, actually. We thought, there's not much going on, but definitely in the last couple of days, there's been some action.
There's always a lot going on by this time.
So everybody knows Lamar Jackson's waiting on his deal, right? Pay the man the money. There was a couple weeks ago, he signed a poster that somebody had that says, "Pay this man the money." Yeah. He signed it. So he's playing the game a little bit. He wants his money, and he played like shit. They lost. And then after the game,
he didn't play like shit. They did lose.
They lost.
He didn't play like shit.
Yeah, they didn't cover.
They did not cover.
Yeah, maybe if Justin Tucker would have, they still wouldn't have covered if he would have hit that 67-yarder at the end. But
I think that. Well, see, I got a couple bets in. They were different monetary. The spreads varied, and so I just kept throwing money on them, and then
chasing Lamar.
Yeah.
But so then after the game, he goes on Twitter, which is a bad idea if you just lost a game and you're heated about losing the game, because Twitter warriors with their thumbs, they're ready to go. And he found a tweet he didn't like, and he tweeted back and said some choice words. I'm not going to repeat all of it, but he did finish with "eat a dick." Yeah. So it's tough when you're trying to go for $250 million and you're telling people on Twitter to eat a dick. So Lamar, I think the coach is going to forgive you on this one, but you might have just knocked $10 million off your deal.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the tweet, but I do agree. You don't look at that shit until way after the game's over, like a couple days later. Let it sit.
I agree.
Let it sit.
So this week's a big week. You got Deshaun Watson coming back, the massage king himself. Oh, actually, who's the better massage king? Is it Robert Kraft?
No. Those ladies signed up for what they were doing.
Okay,
These
fair.
people did not. Fair. And we are not going to praise Deshaun Watson when he does well. We are not going to put our money on Deshaun Watson. If you ask me, at least I'm not. That team's dead to me at this point. So definitely. Whatever. Yep. He's coming back. Great. We're going to move on from that.
People are going to be talking about him all week, I'm sure. And he playing.
Actually, I'm hoping the media doesn't. I hope they just, okay, he was in, and then talk about the rest of the team, because this is gross that he's even playing.
Yep. Another guy in the news, this is in college. So you got Hugh Freeze. So
it's a good name.
Auburn, they wanted to get rid of their coach. And word has it, they had some boosters out there that pretty much were like drumming up an affair that their coach had so they could look holier than thou and feel comfortable firing the guy so they can get the guy they really wanted. So they do it, and they hire Hugh Freeze. I don't know how holy they're going to look, because it turns out Hugh Freeze in the past has had to resign because he was calling escorts from the campus phone line, as well as some other things. So, Auburn not looking that great, but you got your guy, and hopefully he stays off the escorts over there.
Guys, keep it in your pants.
Keep it in the pants, guys.
Guys are
Come
struggling. Well, we have to bring Russell Wilson back on our Let's Face It. We didn't want to do it, but this is just too funny. Sierra held a birthday celebration for her man, Russell, and apparently only half of the team showed up, not the full team that was invited. So that could just be a little tidbit as to how the team feels about their God almighty quarterback who's just supposed to get them through battle and be their number one hero. Happy birthday, Russell Wilson. Nobody likes you.
And you got to figure that, like, Sierra probably has some, like, celebrity friends and shit, too, because they're, like, the it couple or whatever. And then the guy still didn't want to go. Because some guys might be like, I don't want to go to this thing.
But who can I meet there?
Yeah, maybe.
No. Clearly. I mean, the man has his own bathroom. That's a bad sign to begin with. So. Then we have Odell Beckham Jr. Now, I know he's in the news, possibly going to the Bills, maybe the Cowboys, maybe the Giants. It seems like he might be pushing a little bit more towards the Bills. I don't know, but that's Von Miller talking on OBJ's podcast. However, he was flying for the holidays from Miami back to L.A., apparently a little inebriated enough where he was just out cold. They were trying to put his seatbelt on him, couldn't take off unless the seatbelt was fastened. He was not actually technically alive at that point, so they had to get him off the flight. And, he's denying everything, but that's the account from people on the aircraft. I think he had a little too much to drink.
Or a bunch of maybe Ambience or something?
We don't know, but definitely was not with it. They couldn't buckle him up, and so he has a little story to tell. But, his story is definitely, his version's definitely different, but we thought that was interesting.
Jerry Jones, they asked him, does that impact, the situation with Jerry Jones? Like, no, absolutely not. Like, we're good.
Nobody gives a shit. They just want the man to play on their team.
Yep.
I still don't know how I feel about him being on our team, but, And then last we have Terrell Owens. This just came out today, actually, the day we're recording this. But poor guy. I mean, not a big fan of Terrell Owens. However, he was just out in public. Some guy was talking to him and taping it, and all of a sudden another gentleman approaches him and just wants to fight. Just wants to fight very aggressively. And Terrell knocks him out. Good for Terrell. I mean, that's got to suck to be just approached. He didn't do anything. There was no conversation, nothing. This guy clearly approached Terrell just to start something with him. But good for Terrell. He finished it. And it was all on video. So,
I mean, what a dummy anyway. If you're going to fight somebody, do you want to fight the guy who's 6'3", still has six-pack abs?
It's like the guy that fought dumb. Mike Tyson on the plane.
Right, he's just asking for it.
Just asking for it, but that sucks for these guys to just be minding their own business and people, then they got to get into this crap. So
totally.
Let's face it.
Yep. All right, next up, where we watch the games. So it was a long weekend. So there was a lot of shit going on. It wasn't just, so Thursday we were watching at a friend's house, and then it came to the World Cup. So what was the World Cup was on
Friday morning.
Friday morning.
Friday at 11 over here.
Yeah, so we went to a place called Hennessy's Tavern, and this is down on Fremont Street, which is downtown. And when we were first invited there, I was like, why are we going there? Because we've been there before.
If you've ever been to downtown Vegas or Fremont Street, as they call it, this is the one that's an actual giant Guinness beer. Like this bar, that's what the whole outside of it is, because all Vegas is fun and gimmicky and almost like Disneylandish with their decorations. So their entire face,
facade,
thank you, is a Guinness beer. So if you've been around, you notice it. But it's just like your regular old Irish tavern, which are cool. We all like them. They always have good food. They always play football, games or sports games on. But this was, at first, like he said, it's a little smaller, so if it's going to be busy, which all soccer games are, we're like, how are we going to fit? That was definitely certain. We were crammed in there, but it was fun as hell.
Oh, it was rocking. I don't even understand how many soccer chants people know. I mean, people face painted, going nuts, banging on drums, singing songs. I mean, we were sitting in the middle of it this is fucking awesome.
There was literally, and Bill's Mafia, take note, actual giant drum in the middle of this restaurant that a table full of fans brought, and they played it every play, every commercial. They took songs that we all know and changed up the lyrics so that it was about USA. Oh, it was
Awesome.
it was exciting. I was actually kind of disappointed. I'm like, Bill's Mafia, we need a drum. We need something to do with
Right,
a
we
drum.
need chants.
We're kind of like, we break tables, we light fires, we do the ketchup and mustard thing, but we don't have a drum.
They made a 0-0 game that ended in a tie. It seemed fun. Like, what the fuck?
Fun, yeah.
Can you imagine if it was like a 37-20 football game? Oh man! So that was really a cool time.
We'll be back there at 6:30 in the morning on Friday. This Saturday to watch U.S. play the Netherlands.
Netherlands, watch out at Netherlands.
Let's go USA!
Coming at you. So then, where else are we watching games? We bounced around to some other places, but one of the places we haven't talked about yet was PT's or PT's Gold. There are a bunch of different kind of like chains of bars out here where there's 5 locations, 8 locations, 4 locations. One of them is PT's, and it's pretty popular. It's PT's, Parkway Tavern, the bar, and it's pretty awesome. So it's like one of these kind of off the strip. In like I guess this one's actually standalone.
This is standalone, but you'll find some of them in plazas. There's a lot of plazas here in Vegas. We're learning that very quickly.
Yeah, but like giant square bar where there had to be, I don't even know, maybe 70 bar seats or something like that. All of them with machines and stuff. So all the games are on. Vegas is the home of hospitality, so all the bartenders are good. They're making sure you got what you need and all that stuff. So if you're out in Vegas and you want to be at an off strip spot that's like more of a local spot. PT's is a cool place.
PT's is another one.
Yep. All right. How did we do last week?
Not well.
Not that good. Not good. This is one of the lowest hit rates at 40%. And we bet a lot because we were betting on random shit. Oh, man.
But we had a bunch of soccer bets going in. We decided to put a bunch of Packers prop bets in that all failed. Packers suck it. You failed miserably at everything.
And then live betting the Golden Knights. They're down 2-0. Plus 1.5. Yeah, they're going to come back and win the game maybe.
If you guys don't know Golden Knights, they're the ones like favored to win to go to the Stanley Cup. Like they have a good record and they just bombed.
Canucks beat them up. So anyway, that stuff on top of some other, wins and losses. I mean, we did well on some games like Commanders. On Thanksgiving we hit 2 out of 3. I
didn't bet the Bills, so I won all 2 out of 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Bills did not cover. Tough game with the Lions, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little while.
We'll talk about it. So that was the thing. Down 8 units. That pushes us barely under 50% for the year hit rate and barely negative for the year hit rate. We were positive. Now we're negative by a little bit. So we got to make that money back. Got to get that beer money.
Chasing the money.
Chasing it. All right, takeaways, right? Bengals are starting to come around. Mm-hmm. They had a big win against the Titans. What other things? The Jaguars.
Okay, so I put a lot of money on the Ravens. Yeah. I thought I took the Seahawks as my lock of the week, and they were crap, so that's one thing. But the Ravens would have been my other lock of the week if I could have had 2, and they've tanked. I mean, it was close, but they lost by, they lost in overtime. I can't remember.
No, it was
just at the very end.
The very end, they had,
and it was the Jaguars, like I said, squeaked by. But gosh darn it, so much money went down the drain because I thought that was an easy one.
Trevor Lawrence had a good game. He's been
better.
Spotty. I actually think that last week for the Jaguars in their history, for a quarterback that threw over 37 attempts, which is a random kind of number, but over 37 attempts in a game, he had the highest quarterback rating that any Jaguars quarterback has had.
Right, so he did good.
Good game.
But, shout out to the Jaguars mascot. For those of you that paid attention, it was a skinny little man in a bodysuit that was yellow with blue dots on it for the Jaguar. American flag Speedo that apparently was a thong in the back. We learned that today on one of the NFL shows. And then he had the mascot head thing on. So I thought it was hilarious. A couple people at the bar caught it before the rest. I caught it and another lady caught it. We were both talking about what the hell is that? But I think it was kind of an ode to the USA soccer team. That's why he had the American flag Speedo on, and usually he has the full outfit.
I mean, I don't know who greenlit this thing because
Yeah,
you got kids at the game. This guy's in a thong.
It was a little much, but I thought it was hilarious. And we are they're putting it all over TV today, so I think it went over well.
I'm going to put a picture up here of this guy because he's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but good. I like it. Ridiculousness is good.
Raiders this is the second one in a row. Second overtime win.
I can't believe this with the Seahawks, man.
Yeah.
Gino, this is the Gino I remember.
Well, speaking of Gino, forget about him for a sec. The Raiders ran for 300-something yards.
You're right. The Raiders do deserve credit.
But what's up with this Seattle defense not being able to stop for 300 yards rushing? That's pretty embarrassing.
I don't know. I mean, when we go through our bets, I'm kind of hoping it was like a little fluke because I'm taking the Seahawks again. But I don't even know if I'm putting money on them this time, though, because I'm a little disheartened by my loss.
Yeah, well, I guess the weird thing that you're going to talk about next, and maybe there's a rant coming up, but the Bills are no longer favored to win the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are now favored to win the Super Bowl. So if you look at the odds before, the Bills have been about 400, plus 400, and the Chiefs were plus 450. That has now flipped, and now it's Bills at 450 and the Chiefs at 400. So you got to get that back up there,
Absolutely. It makes sense. This is not wrong. This thinking, they're doing better than us. They're performing better than us. But, there's still time, people.
Yeah, tough one coming up this week. So then the other thing which sucks, it bothers me, Tom Brady, it sounds like, again, I don't hate you forever. Just kind of want you to be done with playing and, we'll move on from it.
Let's officially retire.
Yeah, just don't. And now that no more Giselle, what is he going to play to probably 55, something like that. There's a guy, George Blanda. I think he played till 47. I'm not sure, but he was, that might have been the oldest guy. But the NFC South sucks. And the Bucks are in the first place in a playoff spot at 5-6. That's just, you look at our division.
Yes,
or
we're all fighting
AFC East. NFC East too, where they're all fighting for it. They all have winning records, and this is the fourth team in the division fighting to get a spot, and these guys are going to go in at 5.
Yeah, we're basically saying the Bucks will make it to the playoffs again with Tom Brady, but they don't really deserve it. But at the same time, you can look at it if one of us, probably me, gets to play them in the playoffs. That's an easy okay, well that was fun, little practice run. You're out. Let's move on.
Well,
no,
it has to be the Super Bowl. So yeah, we're on the other
that's
side.
even easier.
Well, no, actually, no. If it's like the Giants, they get to play them, then they'll
whatever. Whoever gets to play them in the playoffs, it should be an easy win there, hopefully.
Packers and and the Eagles. Look, they fought. It was 37-30. They were one touchdown away.
They didn't give us our money line bet.
We betted money line. Look, who knows what happened? Rodgers went down with a rib injury. Jordan Love came in and he played well, but there wasn't that end of the game Rodgers magic that we were looking for to get that bet. And he had him hanging in there. Rodgers did. So I don't know. We just got the notice today that the rib thing came back negative on the MRI. Rodgers is going to play. And since
Rodgers was going to play no matter what, he just doesn't want to go out like this. So he's going to play. He's with his arrogant little attitude, and he's probably going to suck at it because his ribs are going to be killing him the whole entire time. But that's Rodgers. Whatever.
Other thing that everybody's talking about, we talked about it before last week, and I could play back a video where I said Mike White coming out party, 300 yards passing, pew, 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 dead on, nailed it. Did they find their QB? Is he the guy? I mean, I'm just kind of let him roll, and let's see. Everybody says, oh, Zach Wilson's ceiling is so much higher, and what does that mean? I don't know. I like a guy who can throw right now and could win right now, and who's to say that just because Zach Wilson can throw farther and he could run around a little bit faster, that means that he's worse than Mike White? Because it doesn't look like it. Mike White has a couple games now out of 4 starts. He's got 3 games with multiple touchdown passes, 300 yards multiple times where Zach Wilson never does it. So I feel like stick with this guy. Say whatever you want in the media, but I hope your mindset is the Jets, Saleh, Joe Douglas. Who cares you picked up this one guy and he sucks? You also got Mike White on your team, so you did really good on that one if he's good. So she's laughing. They're 7-4. And
I'm laughing because you did this last year. Mike White had one great game, and you were like, he is our guy. And then what does he do the next game? Fails miserably. He's not our guy. So, okay,
that's true.
deja vu.
But we also this is a different team. we signed a bunch of young guys. We have a chance to actually win this year. Last year we were just a shitty team. So like with a lot of skill guys around him, he's looking good. We'll see. I mean, we'll talk about what happens this week coming up. But in the meantime, nope. Nope. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Should label these buttons.
Yep. It's time for Christine to rant.
Yep. So we're playing the Pats this week. Fuck the Pats.
Whoa, that's inappropriate language. Fuck the Pats.
All right. Can we
All
end
right.
this now?
Yes.
So people can hear my rant and then we can move on.
Do it.
All right. So we won on Thanksgiving Day. Woo! Josh Allen is now officially 3-0 for Thanksgiving game wins, I should say. Diggs, Allen, and Bass were like the MVPs of the game, so they got to eat the turkey at the end of the game. Yeah. Very nice to see. Last year was Knox and Diggs and Allen. So switch it up a little bit, getting Bass in there.
Get that game winner.
However, poor Von Miller suffered lateral meniscus damage to his knee. Not as bad, though. When he first got carted off, we're thinking this could be months or a whole season. At this point, he announced himself personally, so we got to take that with a grain of salt, that he sees himself being back for the Jets game. Obviously, I need him back for the Jets game because I am not doing a loss against this guy again. That was horrible. It ruined my night, my day, everything, my week. Okay, so hopefully Von Miller will be just fine and back at the Jets. Tre'Davious White, I don't know if anybody noticed this. I didn't even notice. I just heard one of the commentators mention it. Tre'Davious White kind of showed up for a couple plays, and then he was gone. He didn't do much. But apparently they're just trying to get him back in the game slowly, not scare him too much, whatever it is. Fine. We still won. But this is my one negative take on this. Good teams win. Great teams cover. We are not a great team. We have a lot of people who aren't fans. This one over here who's putting their money on the Bills, and they're not covering. You need to think of all those bettors out there. You got to make friends with the bettors as well as, Bills Mafia. So good teams win. Great teams cover. We are a good team. Let's be a great team. Up next, we have, obviously, the Patriots. It's Thursday Night Football. Get those Amazon Prime accounts ready because you've got to watch this game. I know it's annoying and nobody wants to watch things on Amazon, but we're going to win. It's all over the news. The Bills are favored to win tremendously. I think it'll be a good game. Yes, we are going to the Patriots, but we've been there, we've done that. I think we'll be fine. However, we do have Von Miller out, as mentioned before. Dawkins is still out. But we have Epinesa, Edmonds, and Rousseau is coming back. Rousseau coming back is huge. Edmonds obviously is really good, but he was in, he was out, he was in, he was out. So he's come back in. It's fine. But we need Rousseau. He's been doing a lot of great sack plays for us. So yep. I think it should be a good game. Looking forward to it. Definitely making this one come out because I love watching good games out and being obnoxious in front of everybody else. So let's go, Bills. Be a great team. Be a great team.
Do it. All right.
Why is that what you pick?
I thought it sounded very positive, It was ending it on a really positive note.
It sounds like you're saying I'm making a fairy tale statement there.
All right, well, we just talked about it, so get into the games here.
Yeah.
Bills are favored by 4 at the Patriots. One thing people always say, they say division game where you have a home underdog, take the home underdog. Yeah. That's like one of those betting, rules or whatever, old wives' tales. I don't give a shit. I'm taking the Bills -4 here. I mean, it just...
Be a great team.
Yeah.
Bills, be a great team.
I think if Allen gets a win here, he will... I think he needs one more win, and then he'll be the only quarterback with more than 5 wins against Bill Belichick, which is like Peyton Manning and like Ryan Tannehill or something are the only 2 other quarterbacks that did it. So let's get Allen the win here. I don't want the Bills to win, okay? I'm just trying to make a few bucks here. And I know it's not like I'm betting on the Dolphins. Yeah, I got to deal with her anyway. So she's going to root for the game anyway. So I'm watching it, might as well make a few dollars on it,
He takes a different view at this stuff than I do. So obviously I would take the Bills, but you know me, I feel like I would jinx it. So everybody else in the world, put your money on the Bills because they're going to cover this time because I put it out there. Good teams win, great teams cover.
Also, like for the Jets, so the Pats are at 6-4. If we're fighting for a wild card spot, right?
Yeah,
like somebody's got to win a division. So is it going to be the Bills? Is it going to be the Dolphins? I mean, it could be the Jets, right? Like you never know what happens. But if I'm thinking here, if the Dolphins like lose to the Niners, and then now they're 8-4, you guys are 8-4, the Pats drop back, and then we win one, we're 8-4. I'd rather I don't know. Maybe I want everybody to lose. Who knows?
You want
I want the whole division. Yeah, I want you guys to tie. Actually, yeah, fuck it, get a tie.
No, okay.
I root for the tie. Let's go. But no,
you'll lose your money.
I think if you're gonna put your money anywhere here, you got to go Bills. So
let's go Bills. Woo!
It's true.
Hey.
I think I one more fun fact stat here. I think that Josh Allen needs like 3 more touchdowns, passing or receiving, to break the record for the first 5 seasons for touchdowns accounted for. So it's not passing touchdowns. So I don't want to hear you Mahomes people out there.
Right, yeah. Mahomes doesn't run in.
Run and pass, accounting for touchdowns. You're running, you're throwing them. He'll have the most total touchdowns out of any quarterback in the first 5 seasons if he just gets 3 more. And, I mean, come on. He's going to get the 3.
He is amazing. Ooh. All right, so Jets, Vikings. Now, listen, let's be real here. I like the spread. The Vikings, you don't know what you're going to get, though. Are you going to get the good Vikings that you had at the beginning of the season that were undefeated?
Or that beat the Bills?
That beat the Bills just barely. And then, yes, am I very embarrassed that the next 2 games they've just shit the bed? Absolutely. So I don't know what you're going to get. I also don't, like I mentioned earlier, Mike White the last season also had a great first game and then had a shit second game. What kind of Mike White are you going to get? We haven't seen him enough. So I would go with the under on this, but I'm actually not putting any money on it. 1, I don't like betting the under. Life's too short. And 2, I'm going to be as supportive as I can in the Jets winning. I don't know what I want, though.
At the end of the day, this is all this stuff is with spreads and all that stuff is about matchups, right? So it's not like, the Vikings are 9-2. Well, okay, tell me about the Vikings defense, for example.
Right.
The Vikings defense, their pass defense kind of sucks. So we have a good shot to put up some yardage and some points on offense with our skill guys. And then on the reverse, Jets are kind of shut down on D. And I think that they got a good chance here to shut down Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. I mean, look, the tight end, Hawkinson that they just got from the Lions, he's a tough one. But there's a little stat for the year. When the Jets quarterback throws for a passer rating of over 75, they're 4-0 in those games. So Mike White, just go out there, do your thing, be efficient. That's all we need. We don't need the 300, but if it happens to come, I'll take it. I actually think you're going to get another 300-yard game this week. So just throwing that out there. And I think the Jets +3 is a fucking no-brainer. So I'm putting my money there. And, another fun stat. 9-2. When are the Vikings going to fall apart? They're going to fall apart at some point. Kirk Cousins hasn't taken them. The Vikings haven't won their division since 2017. And that was prior to signing Kirk Cousins. So I don't care your gold chains. You want to put him on the plane. You're a goofy, goofball, cheeseball guy. Nobody likes you. And the Jets are going to whoop up on you. So get ready to shake Mike White's hand at the 50-yard line because he's going to be shaking it with a grin on his face. All right.
Okay. Well, there's his rant.
Okay.
Oh, look.
Broncos at the Ravens.
Well, we have to assume that Mr. Russell Wilson is going to be very sad because no one showed up for his birthday party.
That's true. It's my party and I cry if I want to.
God. So listen, this is where I'm thinking the Ravens are going to win for sure, right? This is a guarantee. They're not. I don't think they're going to win by 8.5. Now, maybe if you want to buy a few points down, but that's going to cost you money, or money line, take the money line just to win, but you got to put up, a lot of money, 400 to win 100. It's not even, so we're not even touching this game. No. But we definitely know, I think this spread would be more like 7. If you can get it down to 7, then I would, buy it down to 7, take the Ravens that way, or just do what we're doing and stay away from the whole game as a whole.
Yeah, I get it. If you look at the under-over, it's at 38.5. And I think the big driver is 2 things. One, the Broncos have a good defense. But 2, are the Broncos going to score? I mean, Russell Wilson is 29th ranked from passer rating standpoint out of 35 eligible quarterbacks to rank in the league. What the fuck? You just pay the guy $242 million, and that's what you get out of him. It's sad. It's depressing. I don't even know if they can get out of this thing at all, but I'm guessing they can't. I kind of would lean under just because it's probably like Ravens 28 and the Broncos, 7, 10, 6, 9, whatever, something like that. And then it gets to the under. But we're not betting it because it's just like shitty, sucky game, and I'm not going to watch it.
Yep. Use our time elsewhere. Another sucky game that we're not going to watch.
That's right.
But we're going to take the Steelers.
Steelers, Falcons.
I mean, Pitts is out for the season, which is that definitely hurts the Falcons a lot.
Yes,
and
that's
they
true.
didn't even have a lot going for them to begin that with. So
they run a lot, but I just think that Pittsburgh, their defense is good. It is a short week though because they just They just played on Monday night.
Monday night. They're
Monday night to Sunday, so short week, but
Listen,
whatever.
The Bills have done that a bunch of times now.
So we both lean the Steelers here, and Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, but again, boring ass game, so don't necessarily bother. Okay, Eagles. These motherfuckers.
Titans versus Eagles.
I'm going Eagles. I mean, 10-1. They're doing well. They didn't cover the last one, but minus 5.5 against the Titans. Josh is kind of for the Titans a lot. He thinks that that they're better. He looks at them as a better team than I do. I think that they are shit. Okay, not as shitty as some of the other ones, but I don't have a lot of I don't think that they're that strong. But minus 5 spread, easy Eagles. I'm going with that one.
Yeah, the Titans have won when they played against the Eagles. And now, once it goes into multiple seasons prior, it's like, well, it's not the same team anymore, so I get it. The Titans have won 5 out of 6 games against the Eagles, the last 6 games. Hurts is 3rd in the league right now with 100 passer rating, so that's, he's been just balling. So I get it. Go with the Eagles. I'm thinking maybe Vrabel can put together a good, kind of defensive game plan to get these guys to basically be in a closer game where you get an under.
True, it's possible.
But I'm not even betting it. So
unders are boring.
Go fly, Eagles fly. Except we're out with Monkey, and he's a Giants fan. She's you have to deal with the consequences of hearing him talking shit. Oopsies. All right, next game: Jaguars at the Lions.
Wah wah wah.
Yeah, I mean,
yes, the Jaguars did better. Well, Lawrence is doing better, but I don't know. The Lions are starting to pick it up a little, pick up momentum. I mean, the spread's at 1 for minus 1 plus 1.
It's almost like a pick 'em, and you're at home and you're getting a point.
Yeah, that would be the only reason why I would say the Lions might cover the spreads because they're at home. But
it's weird stat. Like the Lions in the last 11 games versus the AFC, they have not won a game against it. Now, again, they haven't won a lot of games, period. But they only won 4 here, and they were 0 for 0, whatever the hell last year. So, yeah, I don't know. I would lean Lions too, just because they're home, getting a point here. Let's see if T-Law can string a couple games together, but I'm not going to bet against them here. Okay, Commanders at the New York Giants.
All right, so I really want to take the Commanders. But like he said, our friend is a Giants fan, and that would just be rude because I hate people who come hang out with me and watch my game, and they don't take my team. So I strongly suggest the Commanders, minus 2.5. I think they're the better team against the Giants. I know the Giants are at home, but Heineke has just been helping this team out. They're doing so much better with him. They're everything just gels. They work well, and they've been covering the last few games, the Commanders. Yep. So, unfortunately, I cannot put my money on it, but I could tell you people, you find people, if you don't have friends that are Giants fans that you're watching the games with, put your money on the Commanders.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Heineke's been strong for them. They said, I think Heineke started, I don't know if it was 8 games in his career or whatever it is. And when he throws more than 2 touchdown passes, they're 6-2. I saw that stat and I was like, yeah, isn't that for most quarterbacks that throw 2 touchdown passes or more, they win the game? But like Saquon and the Giants, he's, I think, 4th in the league in rushing yards and 5th from the line of scrimmage in terms of total yards. So they're doing the work there. I'm kind of thinking that this one actually might end up being an over game where you get Heineke into that battle where they're going back and forth, and see if Danny Dimes can pull it out for our friends back home and out here. But I think I'm going to go for the over. I always like going when the under overs are so low here, and I don't think that
it is a low over. So
yeah,
I might even throw my money on that, but
yeah,
because that's that over bets don't bother anybody on either team.
No,
So.
And also I love a bet where you could win it in the third quarter. You're like, I won the bet already. Doesn't matter what happens because I already hit the over. That's the good thing. The under, you just got to sweat that fucker out to the very end.
Life's too short. Don't bet the under.
Okay.
Oh, okay, another crap game. First of all, we said we are not talking about Watson and what he does. So, I want nothing to do with this game. Not even going to watch it. I would take the over because, he's got some shit to prove, and the Texans also don't want him to prove that. So I think they're going to battle it out heavily. Texans, I hope you win. I just, your skill set does not show that, but go ahead, beat Watson. Sack him 1,000 times, please. Shove his face into the dirt. That would be great. But neither of us, out of spite and ethics and morals, are not betting this game.
Yeah, I mean, I would lean to the Browns here, and I would probably, be wanting to bet them. So the Texans, their line is not good, and they switched over to Kyle Allen. And if you watch some of these plays from last week, this guy just got blown up. And I feel bad. It's like it's hard to play quarterback when it's just people coming blasting you. You're not even getting the ball out and you're getting hit. So I think that Myles Garrett and the Browns are going to come after him and probably do some damage there and get a couple sacks and stuff like that. So I'm not super pumped to be betting on the Texans here. So I'm going to leave that be. All right, Packers at the Bears.
Yeah, this one's a harder one too, but we're going Packers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers insists on playing. He's going to be injured, but it's against the Bears.
Isn't he the ones that he says after he scores a touchdown, he goes, I own you. And he's like, I still own you, because he's won 12 out of the last 13 games against the Bears.
Right. But Fields isn't even playing that much. He's like,
we don't know if he's back yet.
So that doesn't help. So at this point, not knowing if he's back, we would take the Packers. Maybe if they come out and say he's fine and he's going to be fully playing, and then you could switch that up. So I would hold off till maybe Friday, Saturday before if you're going to take this one. But as of right now, how it stands, we'd go Packers.
Yeah, I mean, like I was firsthand witness to the Jets beating up on the Bears last week. So, their secondary does not look good. Rodgers in there, I think it's going to be able to pick that apart. So, yeah, we're not betting it.
If his ribbies don't hurt.
If his ribbies don't hurt.
His ribbies.
My whibs.
My whibs hurt. I need to smoke.
Okay, Seahawks at the Rams.
Yes. Okay, so I'm taking the Seahawks. I may put my money on it right now. I feel like I got a lot going on. There are some other bets this evening game or the later game that I want to put money on. And I'm a little, butthurt that they did not, cover last Sunday because they were my lock of the week. But the Rams are terrible. Stafford is still out. He had the concussion protocol, but it looks like he may have hurt his neck. He's got some injury due to it, so he's still not playing. And we know Geno, I don't know. Maybe this might be the game that he shows his old Geno shitty self, but he's been doing so well. I just wish he would have covered last game.
I mean, they say that Geno Smith leads the league in basically deep pass touchdowns. So if it's traveling in the air more than 20 yards, he's got 12 touchdown passes, and that leads the league. So, he's been balling. Just didn't cover last week. So, yeah, like you said, butthurt about it.
A little butthurt.
The Rams, though, so disappointing. They have the lowest average points per game for a defending Super Bowl champ.
Yeah, they're so boring to watch. No matter
Ever.
who they play, they're just boring.
Brutal.
So I would not go Rams at all, even with that spread.
Cooper Kupp injury was bad for them, and Stafford too, obviously. So
All right.
Dolphins at Niners.
Thank God for this game. Dolphins at Niners, because the Dolphins have been playing a lot of crappy teams.
Crappy defenses too.
Yeah, well, this is their chance to lose. And 49ers, I'm putting so much money on you. You are going to win this. You are at home. Crush the Dolphins. Squish the fish, as we used to say when I was growing up in Buffalo. Squish the fish. I know I'm offending some Dolphins fans here. Shout out to Moose. But this is where you're going to lose. You're going to lose with Tua. Yes, you have some other losses, but because Tua wasn't in.
He's 8-0 as a starter.
Yeah. This is his time. He's due.
Yep.
So let's go 49ers. Be the Niners that I know you've been covering. You are a great team, not just a good team. Show it again. Cover -4. You're up on the Dolphins for this one. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the under here. And the under-over is high, and I think, obviously the Dolphins have scored over 30 points the last 4 games. I think that's playing a part here. But at the same time, though, the Niners, I couldn't even believe this. I had to check this twice. 4 games straight, the second half, they let up 0 points. So the Niners defense is legit, and that's why they're favored here by 4. I think that, you can get to a situation where this is a pretty close game, and I think it's like a 30-13 type of thing where it hits the under. So I'm leaning that way. I might end up putting money there. We'll see how the weekend's playing out. If I'm up or down, might have looking for more bets.
Yes.
I don't know.
Let's go Niners, though. Come on. Squish the fish.
That'd be nice to get them at 8-4 because I know that, All right. Anyway. Jets have the tiebreaker over them. So, okay.
Lord Jesus.
Chargers at the Raiders. Raider Nation, Las Vegas, Nevada, Oakland, shout out. I mean, look.
Oakland?
Well, that's where they were from.
Oh, why are you?
Because they're fans. They're fans. Still have Oakland fans.
Whatever.
Crazy stat for the Chargers. Herbert needs 2 more touchdown passes, and he passes Dan Marino for all-time most touchdown passes by a quarterback in the first 3 seasons. I mean, the kid's balling out. So, against the Raiders here, the Chargers are banged up. They have some
key injuries.
Linemen, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and the offensive lineman thing is not great because the Raiders have a good pass rush.
That's the only reason why I think the Raiders might, take it and cover it here because, yes, they are getting points, but really they just have to win.
Yeah.
This one, but they're home, and they've got that little mojo going because they just won a couple games, and so if I make some money, I will be putting some of it on the Raiders. But after this last weekend, I'm afraid to bet on too many teams.
Derek Carr started out not good. Last 4 games, he's averaging 240 yards passing and 2 touchdowns a game. So doing well there. We know about the Raiders' run game, and without, with the offense on both the offensive line, defensive line of the Chargers, we think, home dogs, right? Take the home dogs, take the Raiders.
In this case.
Go all right. Lock of the week.
It's my lock of the week. All right. So, anyways, I think the Bengals are going to cover at 2.5. 1, yes, I hate the Chiefs. We all know why. That just goes without saying. So, 1, they're at home. 2, I need them to beat the Chiefs. I think also that they're starting to pick up momentum. The Bengals, they seem to they got their shit together. They're flowing well, and Burrow's the only quarterback to face Mahomes and be undefeated during this time. So I think they're going to cover. I know they get a couple points, but really it's 2.5. They still need to. They can't lose by a field goal. They won't cover. So Bengals win the game, beat the Chiefs. I think that'll be a good lock for people.
I like it. I'm going to bet this game also. I'm going to go for the over, and I'm going to bet on a shootout. I think it's going to be, Burrow versus Mahomes, shooting it out, back and forth. Jamar Chase is back for the Bengals, which is another reason why, Christine's lock makes a lot of sense. The Chiefs signed Melvin Gordon from the Broncos. Remember, they kind of cut him a week or two ago, so that's going to help the Chiefs a little bit. I just think it's going to be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And, 52.5, as much as it's really high, it'd be a fun one if it was over that, huh?
Yeah.
It'd be a fun one to look back and say, hey, look at that one. So I'm betting it. Next one, Colts at Cowboys. I mean, what are you laughing at?
Matt Ryan is second worst in the NFL in touchdown interception ratio. I like that. I don't know. Like, that's just, we're not betting this because I think that the Cowboys are going to win. They're gonna definitely take over the Colts because the Cowboys are at home. Colts, but I don't know about that minus 11, so I'm not putting my money on it. I think that's too high of a spread. Again, maybe if it was 9,
10 even, I would take
10,
it probably.
possibly, yeah, if you want to buy it down to 10. I still think it's a little rough because that means they're way ahead. Third quarter, the Cowboys still going to push it, enough to
right.
come. So
Backdoor covers are always scary when it comes to these big 2-digit spreads. But the Cowboys since week 7, averaging more than 33 points per game. So they put up points. I'm thinking maybe it should be the over 43.5. Again, not betting it though. Yeah, we'll see. And that's the Sunday night game, right?
I think so. Yeah, because we're now on the Monday night game. Monday night
football. My Monday night football lock of the week. Guys, the Bucks, minus 3.5 points. I know what you're thinking. Oh, you like Tom Brady?
Yeah, no.
I mean, in this instance, just the Saints are trash, okay? I'll tell you what, when I say that, I mean their offense is trash. They put up 0 points on the Niners. I know the Niners have a good defense, but Saints, I mean, they have the worst points per game since week 9 at 12.5 points. They're not scoring. The Bucks have a good defense. They're middle of the pack, but I think they're better than what the stats actually hold up there. I think that Brady's going to go in there and do his work. I think it's the last 20-something games that Brady's gone against opponents that had losing records this point in the year. He won all of them. So
if he decides to retire, which he should after this year, this will be his last Monday night football game.
Wow, look at that one. So if he somehow gets them, I mean, we know the playoff shot is still there, obviously, but so this one's my lock of the week. I think Brady comes out there and they win this one easily by 10. So I'm riding with those Bucks.
I have my money on the Bucks also.
Do it to it. All right. What are we betting? Not as many games as we bet previous weeks here.
Last week.
Yeah, we're thinking about those 8 units that we lost last week, and we're trying to lick our wounds, make a few bucks back, and then come back for the end of the season real strong. So I'm going to start out on Thursday night with a pretty strong bet here, a little heavy-handed. Might go 2 units on the Bills. And then my boys, the Jets, got to go with them. Somebody betting them.
I got the Eagles versus Titans. Eagles will come through for sure. minus 5.5. That's an easy one.
Yep. And I'm hoping that Danny Dimes and Taylor Heineke go back and forth a little bit, get that over 40.5 on that early game.
And I'll probably join you on that.
Yeah.
I'm just a little timid right now about betting. But I am taking the Niners over the Dolphins because squish the fish. Niners got to come through. I need the Dolphins to lose, and I know the Niners are the team to do it. Let's go Niners.
Jimmy G, Debo, let's go.
And, of course, we have my lock of the week, Bengals plus 2.5 over the Chiefs because, again, I hate the Chiefs. These are a lot of emotional bets, but they do have some intelligence behind them. I'm looking at the stats. I know who's playing, who's not playing. I know the talents behind them, so I'm going Bengals all day against the Chiefs.
Love it. And then, I'm going to go Chiefs-Bengals over 52.5, thinking that's going to be a shootout. And if it goes well where the household wins both bets, Burrow's going to come out on top at the very end, and we'll win that one. Mm-hmm. And then we are both on Tom Brady and the Bucks.
Tom Brady kisses kids on the mouth.
I mean, he can't anymore that much because the kids don't live with him. So, at least there's that.
And then he'll win his last Monday Night Football game because he's going to retire.
So that's what we're betting for the week. I think hopefully this one's a better one than the last one, but we have fun doing it. That's what we always try to do. I mean, look, we're out here. We're not trying to, buy ourselves a Lamborghini with the betting winnings from the season. But if we do, it'd be great. It would be great. So we'll see what happens. We might even bet the World Cup. So, if you're following us on IG.
Yep. Let's go USA.
How can you bet against them? I'm going to look at the spread, though, see what's up. Might bet a few different things. Soccer's different. We might do a betting one-on-one on the soccer thing because it's like the draw happens. You don't get paid if you bet one team. It's not a push in soccer if it's a draw and you bet one team or the other. So you have to bet the draw. So anyway, follow us, figure out what we're betting. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be on the USA.
Yeah.
Unless it's like favored by 1.5 goals. And then it was like, I don't know about that one. Hey, we love you all. Like, subscribe, do that stuff. That was this week's betting. And we'll see you guys all soon. And
Bye.
If you're back in New York, we'll see you in a few weeks for the holidays. Bye.
Bye.
Couple of bettors. Couple of bettors.
I want to make money. Couple of bettors. Couple of bettors.
Couple of bettors.